friend of mine once said this film is Harambe's revenge.
Oh, I thought that meme was over.
He'll never die. Just like Harambe.
I was trying not to make that joke either.
Oh, God.
I feel like Immortal Gorilla is an awesome band name.
That is
a
an
great
awesome
band name.
Like, somebody should get on
Immortal
that.
Gorilla.
And they could be like, they're actually, you know what they need to do? They need to do like a remake of Hooked on a Feeling. You know, the ooga chaka, ooga chaka. Actually, you know, it'd be a more hardcore band, like, Hooked on a Feeling.
Oh,
Immortal Gorilla is my zombiecore Gorillaz cover band.
Yes, there you go. It's like, windmill for the land, up forever.
Yeah, okay.
I dig it. I dig
I
it.
can get behind this. So,
Yeah.
Back to this.
So yeah, so
Rampage.
there's
Harambe's
obviously a
revenge.
gorilla in this movie.
Another-
Gorilla.
And a wolf.
another movie
And
made
a lizard.
about a video
Such
game.
such a weird video game choice.
Yeah.
Th-
I
well,
love
to
this
make a
video
movie
game,
out.
though.
Like
Well-
the game is great.
Oh,
Yeah.
How do you
Both
make a
games.
movie out of
Well,
Rampage?
You put
I will
Dwayne
say
The Rock
this.
Johnson in it, and it's
The-
automatically a
the
winner.
First two games,
Fair enough.
especially the arcade versions, because the N64 version of Rampage 3D was not.
It was a thing that happened.
Yeah, I got it and I played it. I thought it was fun, but then it wore thin really quickly because there was a lot of stuff to do in the arcade version, whereas they stripped a lot of it down for the N64 version. I'm just like, oh. Now, what I want is a re-release of the arcade version on Virtual Console.
That'd be cool.
The full arcade version, because processors are capable of handling that now.
I mean, I realize the nostalgia wave is a big thing right now, but I don't know. I think it's kind of weird that
I
they
mean,
picked this of all things.
To be fair, I guess this makes more sense than Battleship.
well, yeah, that's true.
Oh, God. Okay. One thing they did try and do with Battleship was that they tried. They threw a lot at it.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of it didn't hit, and they also tried to put a military message
Are you
behind
saying that
They
it was a miss?
it. Yes, exactly.
Zach was
That's-
already there, and I was
That's
just
what I
like,
was
yeah.
going for.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I would almost be more interested to see
What?
a kaiju movie about primal rage.
That would be
That would be
Right?
interesting.
ooh.
I think
That
that'd be
would be
kind of cool.
interesting.
That would be cool.
Or
Uh,
just make Godzilla destroy all monsters melee.
Or,
Yeah.
how,
Just make
or
that
how about
movie.
this? How about make this like a more traditional kaiju movie with instead of actually, you know, I don't mind The Rock being
Which
in
I mean,
this.
it might be because you kind of have to have some human elements, but it may turn out to be like that.
I hope so, but I guarantee you, instead of the primary focus like in Shin Godzilla, Shin Godzilla, the primary focus was Godzilla. There was all these characters in the background working to make everything happen.
Right.
But Godzilla was the primary focus.
Oh, yeah.
With this, I feel Dwayne The Rock Johnson is going to be the primary focus because he is the Dwayne Rock Johnson.
And he's also a kaiju.
He's super beefy. And basically, yeah,
I mean, he
he's
totally
like-
is just a kaiju.
He's
Yeah.
a 6'4", 300-pound behemoth of
he's
a
like,
man.
I mean,
His shoulders are ridiculous. Freakish genetics.
he's
dude.
maybe
Freakish.
this is secretly the Ultraman movie I've been waiting for. They're just gonna paint him silver and put a thing on his forehead and just let
Yeah.
him fight him.
Yeah,
I'd watch
That would be
that.
awesome.
That'd
watch
be very
that.
cool.
Yeah, I'm in.
So, all right, Rampage.
I mean, it might be Jet Jaguar.
I mean, you know,
Jet Jaguar.
Oh God,
All right,
That's-
so
it's
Rampage.
a weird cut.
The second trailer has come out. It came out 2 days ago. Let's give it a watch and see what happens.
Oh Lord, here we go.
I predict lots of destruction.
Gee, you think?
Just a friend.
He's family.
Don't move a muscle.
Are you crazy?
Don't move!
Playing with him.
Okay. Very funny. You and I laughing at your joke. New guy, he no laugh. He cry. You can get up now.
And check your diaper. Come on.
Okay. Comedy elements like that, I think, are pretty fun.
That's good.
Uh-oh.
Message about George, you okay?
I don't know.
George? It's okay.
Is Amir, is he considerably bigger?
No, he's definitely bigger. I need to find someone who knows exactly what the hell this thing is.
I found her. No, that's a lie. Technically, she found us.
What's happening to my friend?
Are you familiar with genetic editing? Changes will be incredibly unpredictable. What's that?
So-
that big.
Strength, speed,
Oh, just wait.
agility.
Where's George? I need to see him.
He is dangerous.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
The man.
So that's what happened to Pops Winchester.
We've created the next
People ask me
chapter
all the
of
time what I
our
wanted to do for a living when I was
Project
younger.
Rampage works.
I just wanted to be Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Science experiments.
Yeah, that's
running
fair.
around.
We meet another one.
A lizard. Oh, wolf and a lizard.
Oh, wow.
That's George the wolf. Or not
No,
George.
George is the gorilla.
George Gorilla. Was it? I forget the wolf.
Liz
Oh,
is
there's
the.
Lizzie. Lizzie was the one I always played as because I liked some of her attacks.
I don't remember the wolf's name.
I don't even.
I'll have to look it up.
Go to sleep.
Don't fight it.
Go to sleep.
Ways of dealing with people, right?
Okay.
I do know that, yeah, but that's no fun.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Nice.
George? You okay? Ready to do this, buddy?
Oh.
Now he's big.
Oh.
Good.
Nice.
So I think they're making Liz the villain.
420.
I think they're making Liz the villain.
Kind of looks like it.
I
So this is like.
don't know how to feel about this, except that I don't like it.
I'm not into these kind of movies.
The
so-
kaiju film?
So this
big
is like-
monster films?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I'm looking forward to watching it.
It's like George
just to
George versus
see how it's
everybody.
gonna be.
Well, let's
Yeah.
let's take a look at this real quick.
And then
I mean,
and you made essentially the player you cast as Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
there we go. George Ralph
Ralph.
Wolf.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so one thing about this, I hope that they change the name of the villainous company that caused the monsters, Scum Labs. Quite
Yeah.
literally, Scum
Wow.
Labs.
Yeah.
It's a little on the nose there, which
Exactly.
probably would have worked in the original games because they were sort of corny. But
Well, that's
That
what
was
it
the name from the games.
Right.
Yeah, and for me, I don't know. I don't know how they'd make that work. For me, I think that what they would do. What? What?
You okay? You want to talk about it?
No.
You sure?
I don't want to.
You just exhaled like made noises like I
Listen.
have problems.
Like,
I have to
actually,
express.
listen for a second.
Go ahead.
Oh, it's the
Oh
yeah, it's the yeah.
Oh.
It's plain. It's fine.
It's another one. Oh boy.
Once again,
Another-
phobias.
it's okay.
But-
Lizzie will eat it apparently.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that
so
was
what-
Lizzie is my best friend.
The designs are weird. Like George is like a gorilla, but then like the rest of them, like the wolf has like flying
Flying fire
squirrel
wings.
things,
Yeah,
and then
that's a little
and
weird.
Liz in the original one, she was sort of a
She
a
was
Godzilla
bipedal.
knockoff.
She
Yeah,
was
not an
bipedal.
alligator. So that's a
Yeah.
little strange.
She
And there's
was
there's a lot going on there. Like
Yeah, she was bipedal.
Yeah.
Whereas this is a definite quadruped.
yeah.
And also much more much larger than George
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Ralph. Because
Also-
George and Ralph were around the same size.
Has anybody pointed out that's not how genetic engineering works?
No.
When she said, "Have you heard of genetic editing?" I was like, "What
like,
the fuck?"
that's no. You can't do that with gas. No.
Welcome to the world of Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen.
Everything.
Well, I mean, it's not like the
How do
original
you-
Rampage really made sense anyway,
Well,
because
yeah.
it's like,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the
they're
thing.
not really working with a lot, so
Well, I mean, here's the thing, though. Like, this entire thing had to be
Yes, we watched that.
constructed
Can't wait.
in order to
Can't either.
make it so that there could be human actors in this.
Mhm.
Which
Well-
makes me think maybe this isn't the best idea for a movie.
Well, honestly, you know what? I learned with I think it was a few films actually, but there was one in particular that really sent me over the edge when it came to not judging a book by its cover. John Wick. I thought John Wick was
Business
going to
as
be
usual.
like the most cliched, nonsensical crap that would just have Keanu Reeves killing everybody in uninteresting ways with his same stone face and everything. And I'm just
I
like,
love that movie.
Oh, I do too. I mean, honestly, it blew me away with how good it was. I was just like, holy crap. This
When
is
I
awesome.
first heard about it, a buddy of mine went and watched it and talked about how great it was. And I said, "What is it? I've never heard it." He said, "Let me tell you the plot." And he's like, pretty much this guy, these people kill his dog, and he just goes and like
He's just like,
kills them all.
Nope.
And I'm like, so this just sounds like Michael Bay, just like decided
Ridiculousness,
yeah,
yeah.
like that's exactly what it sounds like. He was like, "No, man, you got to go watch it." I decided to wait until it come out because I just didn't see paying to go watch this movie, and then I seen it when it come out, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
So when the second one come out, I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, and the second one was just as good, if not better, than the first one. I mean,
number 3's
But-
gonna come out soon.
I mean, here's the thing, though.
Go ahead.
You actually, like, there's room for a plot there. Explain to me how you get a plot out of Battleship.
Yeah.
See,
I
I
don't
think
know.
This
I
is the
agree.
same sort of situation.
this was a weird Hollywood age because, so I think like, you know, you have all your old like Arnold movies and like your Seagal movies where it was just like the
One
80s
man
action
alone
movie.
against the world.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a nostalgia based nondescript action movie with probably with The Rock in it. Is like we're this new age of Hollywood where
Or Vin Diesel. They're kind
yeah,
of interchangeable
but it's like
at this point.
they're not gonna be super great at the time, but like with age, you're just gonna be like, man, I freaking love The Rock. He's been in all this stuff, and it's like, you know,
Oh,
yeah.
you know, it's
because-
just gonna be one of those things. Like,
There
It's
were
like the-
films that people. Oh, go ahead, Zach.
Well, it was just like the Bruce Willis Die Hard series, exactly like that.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
Yeah.
gotten better with age.
so I think it's gonna be
Exactly.
something weird like that. You know, like I mean, because like Total Recall, the Schwarzenegger Total Recall is like,
Oh yeah.
it's you know,
Utter
I
cheese.
love that movie. It's so cheesy, but
it's so bad, but it's fantastic.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like, well, you look at all the Arnold films of the '80s, the critical reception that has gone up over time as it's grown more nostalgic and has like Running Man, for instance. Running Man, a lot of
I
critics.
love Running Man.
Running Man
Man-
was panned when it came out originally.
Yeah.
But now it's got like over 60 on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's just like people have gone back and watched it, seen its nostalgic value, and it's just like, you know what? For the sign of the times where we were in terms of society and filmmaking and everything, this works really well, and it speaks volumes.
Some films age like wine. Some films age like onions.
Yep. And see, one of the things I hate with Hollywood right now is I feel like every movie we're getting so far is either A, a movie based off a video game,
Mm-hmm.
or B, a remake of an older movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
They're-
based off of a comic book, which
Or,
the
yeah.
comic book films,
They work.
for the most part, they're doing pretty well.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, we're in a stage where nobody's willing to necessarily take the risk to be original.
Exactly.
Well, yeah.
It's all about money.
And the thing is, a lot
It
of
is.
originality is being thoroughly rewarded. For one thing, Get Out.
Oh, yeah, that was
Yeah.
a good was a good
yeah,
film.
that
Yeah.
was good.
Get Out
Get
was,
Out was a great
was
film.
very good.
And honestly, it borrowed. But here's the kicker with that film: it borrowed a lot of cliches, but it played with them in a way that actually worked really well in the film's favor. You see, like the traditional horror tropes, but
Yeah.
yet they're turned around in a way that just is like, wait a second, are they doing this or are they doing? Oh,
Yeah,
they're not
you-
doing that. They're doing this.
Like,
Okay.
you take the trope, you turn it on its side, you turn it on its head, you do something with it where it's the trope, but you're also making fun of the trope.
You're turning it
Yeah.
inside out effectively.
Yeah.
You're exposing the trope and yet embracing it at the same time. It's a weird thing that they do, but it works.
I have people constantly make fun of me all the time because my favorite movies are historical movies. I'm a history nut. I love history.
Yo.
And like, one of my favorite movies that's come out in the last couple of years is I actually can't even think of the name of it right now. To save my life.
Who's in it?
It's about Whitey Bulger. With Johnny
Oh,
Depp.
Black Mass.
Yes, loved that movie, and it's
Directed by Scott Cooper, who is
and,
from Abingdon, Virginia.
I'm actually really excited because they're starting
him, too. He's a
filming
nice guy.
on a movie in the next couple of years about my grandfather, and I'm pretty excited about that. And my grandfather's name is he was Doc Taylor. Not a lot of people know about him, but he was an outlaw in our local area,
Mm-hmm.
and he was an actual doctor. So like people would come in, and he was a doctor. He was considered an outstanding member of society, and then lo and behold, apparently at night he would go across the mountain, and when people would come in from other states, he would stop them, rob them, and kill them.
So he was a highwayman.
Pretty much.
Holy cow!
Wow.
Yeah, he would kill them, and he would take them to his doctor's office and like cut them up and never be seen again.
Well,
Is that why you're so into those serial killer shows?
I guess so, maybe.
You know
Let's
what?
hope an ambulance chaser
you
never
know
followed
what?
that guy.
You know what? Here's one thing for you, Zach. You know who else's dad or a family member? His dad was actually a notorious hitman for the mafia, Woody Harrelson.
Yeah,
I've heard about that.
Yeah, his dad was a bona fide killer for the mafia. Like he killed a U.S. congressman.
Yeah,
he went to
Oh,
his house.
jeez.
And
there's
killed him.
actually a theory, and I hate to bring up conspiracy theories, but
Oh no,
He
no,
actually-
please.
Buckle up.
he actually claimed in an interview that he was the one that took the shot and actually killed President Kennedy.
What?
Wow.
And here's the thing: he's dead now.
Yeah.
So and that's the case with most of the thing. That's just like Roy Fultry, the one guy from Louisiana tried to bring into Jim Garrison.
Yeah.
Jim Garrison tried to bring him in to question him about it and grill him because of his involvement with Lee Harvey Oswald while Oswald was based out of New Orleans.
Yeah.
And then everybody surrounding Roy Fultry, including this one. Answer me this: why would one of Roy Fultry's confidants was this very high-strung Italian guy, like suffered from hypertension.
Mm-hmm.
So and he had an overdose of blood thinners. Why would a man with hypertension have blood thinners?
Yep. There's also a thing with Woody Harrelson's dad. I don't know how true this is, but I've heard from people, because I'm really into this whole conspiracy theory thing.
You were in the right place.
I just love them because the theories that people can come up with. But this one was actually pretty neat. Apparently, somewhere down the line, he claimed that in order to get the position he had in the mafia, they made him kill a high official, and that high official happened to be Jimmy Hoffa.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a bold claim.
Well,
So, I don't know
Hoffa
how
did.
true that would be.
Well, Hoffa did disappear in the Midwest.
Yeah,
And
so, I mean-
and honestly, Harrelson's dad did carry out a lot of killings in the Midwest. So he might have been the guy that walked up to Hoffa's Cadillac and capped
Yeah.
him
Man.
outside of it, because that's one thing. The last place Jimmy Hoffa was seen was outside of this truck stop in Kansas. I can't remember the name of the town. But he was seen by the guy who was working there. He recognized him. Hoffa was all over TV,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden, he like someone walked out to the car, sat in the back seat with Jimmy Hoffa that didn't arrive with them, and they just drove off.
Yeah.
And Hoffa was never seen again.
And see, what a lot of people probably don't know is like back then, a lot of the ways they would dispose of bodies was, they used a lot of concrete, because back then was when they were building a lot of these skyscrapers
Yeah.
and bridges and stuff like that.
Hoffa's
I guarantee
body-
you, he's cut up into pieces, and he's probably been stuck in concrete for some bridge pillar to hold it up, or something like
actually,
that.
there was a theory. There was a theory that actually somebody tried to sue, but tried to get the New York State legislators to dig up one end of Giant Stadium, because this guy had supposedly all this evidence that Jimmy Hoffa was buried. His body was buried in the concrete.
Yeah.
Man.
At the end of Giant Stadium.
And see, I heard that he was actually, I heard something similar that, like I was talking about with the bridge pillars, that he was actually stuck somewhere like all through the Brooklyn Bridge.
Oh.
Just in different
There are going to be
pieces
so
of
many
concrete.
weird cold cases that get reopened, like in 150 years, where they start demolishing some of the stuff and find a skeleton in
Well,
like
yeah.
the
I mean,
concrete.
you can also just
The
use,
body of Jimmy Hoffa
There's
was found today.
a form of ground penetrating radar
Yeah.
that they use pretty regularly to, find buried bodies.
Yeah.
You could be on blood pressure medication and a blood thinner, because
Well,
sometimes high
it
blood
wasn't-
pressure can cause blood
Well-
clots to form in your heart.
Well, honestly,
yeah,
it
that
wasn't,
makes
well,
good
honestly,
sense.
Well, I'm
Well-
not sure if it was blood thinners, but it was something that has the opposite
took me
effect
that long to
of
find that.
hypertension.
Okay, so something that would have ended up raising his blood pressure.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
No, I
Because
know
about
a few of
blood
those.
thinners
Yeah.
would reduce your blood pressure.
No, blood thinners actually don't have an effect on
I
their.
just read that blood thinners do not affect
Blood
blood
thinners
pressure.
prevent blood clots.
Oh, okay.
And while blood clots can happen, they are not, by any stretch of the imagination, the cause of high blood pressure.
Okay.
Well, while we're talking about Mafia Hitman,
Oh, yes, let's keep talking about Mafia Hitmen. This is fun.
Oh, Jesus.
conversation.
Here we go.
I would absolutely love to dive into the Iceman cases.
Oh,
Richard
Lord,
Kuklinski.
Yeah.
That man was a straight up genius when it comes to killing people.
Well, you know, it wasn't just him. It was also Mr.
Freeze.
Mr. Freezy, yeah.
Yeah.
Zach in a time machine and it would just blow all this stuff wide open.
Oh, I would love it.
Oh yeah.
I would love it.
Actually, the theory how it goes is that Einstein said it is possible, it is potentially possible to go back in time. However, forward in time, that would be more of a challenge because of how
forward in time at more than the rate of 1 second per second. I think you mean that the other way.
I feel like going back
because
in time.
forward in time is easy. Well,
Disagree.
easy.
Well, it's okay.
I mean,
actually now I take
living
that,
is
now
hard.
I take
You
it-
have to think.
Now that I take that back, yeah.
Yeah, because traveling at close to the speed of light, you would age much more slowly.
Yeah. Well,
which means that by the time you stopped, you would essentially have traveled forward in time much more than your body had aged.
I got it backwards.
Would
Yeah.
it
What
be
I meant.
easier to go back in time because all of the decisions have been made, though. Like I'm talking from a more.
Well, you're
basic-
talking about the full
from a
reverse.
physics standpoint.
You're talking about full protonic reversal of the entire universe around you.
I feel
what the
on
type
a
of,
basic standpoint, my thought is that going back, all of the decisions have been made. Going forward, there can always be a change that could affect and blow up pretty much everything.
I agree with that. In a way, I always look at it like this. We had a huge discussion on this a couple of days ago because we're weird like that. But I kind of described it as the way I can think of it. The future has like an endless possibilities of endless possibility of outcome.
Yeah.
Right. So you have hundreds of these little spider webs that just kind of pop out.
Hell,
and
I
at the
think
base of them,
thousands or millions.
Yeah, and at the base of it is like this little funnel, and everything is running through that funnel. And as it comes through, that's your past, and it's all one strand. So it'd be easier to travel back in time because that's already it's right there. You know where it's going. But in travel forward, you wouldn't know where you were going to end
that's
up.
in terms of
you're getting into multiverse theory, which
yeah.
I mean, multiverse theory is all fine and good.
I hope there's not multiverse.
But well, I mean, the idea is that every decision you make, every single decision, each possible outcome generates a different universe.
That's just like now. I thought about picking up my drink and taking a drink, but I didn't.
Well, for example,
I thought about punching Micah in the face.
Why?
Good luck with that.
Because I thought it would be funny.
I
but
mean,
also I would
to
have
be
felt
fair,
bad.
Wyndham almost killed him. But so if you flipped a coin, in one universe it would come up heads, in another tails.
Oh, I don't like this.
That's just like a D20. Oh, imagine the D20.
Trust me, don't. Trust me on this.
Okay, I don't like this.
Don't. But
No.
I'm speaking less from multiverse theory and more from physics, like a relativistic physics standpoint.
Yeah. Well, applied physics, I mean, is the
Because
best way of.
Right now, the idea has been to essentially take a wormhole and desync the ends in time.
Yeah. You pretty much have to pretty much puncture into another multiverse.
Essentially, one end of the wormhole stays at a certain point in time. The other end would move to a different point in time. So then you could travel between them. But it's...
I'm going to go take some headache.
Yeah, no, that's a good thing for this conversation.
Yeah.
Because, dear God, it gets weird.
Yeah.
I'm reasonably certain that time travel will never be possible.
Well, here's the kicker, though. Imagine, okay.
Realistically speaking, we are all traveling in time. It's just forward at a rate of 1 second per second.
Well, here's one thing that CGP Grey brought up. He brought up a, where would we be now if in ancient Greece, during ancient Greece times, there was this toy that they played with. What they did was it was a ball of glass that had water in it, and you would put a flame underneath it, and it would cause steam inside the ball.
Yeah, I think they
You
had, like-
little propellants going one way up and one way down,
Mhm.
and it would cause it to blow in a circle.
I'm pretty
now,
yeah, it was
imagine. Oh, go ahead.
Egypt or Babylon. I'm pretty sure they had like clay jars with acid, and they made batteries basically.
Yeah, Egyptian,
So imagine this. Imagine if way back when the ancient
That-
Greeks would have done that, or if the
that light bulb came
Egyptians-
on.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
if and thus ignited the
So to
Age of
speak.
Enlightenment, and thus and thus we get the Industrial Revolution 2,000-3,000 years before we had it in this timeline. And where would we be now? Would we still be where we are now, or will we be a post-singularity society where we actually have the ability to travel space and time at the rate of which we could dare to even dream of now? You see, the realm of science and the realm of what we know, you see, we think we know everything because we've broken some stuff down. But in terms of the full spectrum of what's out there, we have merely flashed a like very low light into the vast void of space.
As a scientist, I can guarantee you there are none of us who think we know everything.
Tell that to
None
Richard Dawkins.
of us.
Well,
Tell that to Richard Dawkins and tell that to Daniel Dennett. They think they know everything. Same thing for Sam Harris. He is so condescending to everybody because he's like we already know so much. I mean, honestly, isn't it just time for us to throw away these ancient, stupid, thoughts and all this and can't we just move forward as a society because we already know so much. We already know more than we probably ever will know in history. And
We
I'm
know
like,
a lot.
See, here's
we
the
even
funny
know
thing,
Earth is
though.
flat.
Oh God.
ending the convo now. Thank you for tuning in. Heather just killed it. You want to blame someone for ending this convo? Blame Heather. Good night, everybody.